Hello, I'm so excited. I can barely contain myself. Okay, so today I want to share my breakfast with you. And oh God, there's so many things I want to talk about. Okay, breathe. See my dress, my outfit for the day. I am also wearing high dancing shoes, dancing heels, because it's very important when you're in the kitchen to be able to flow. You know, it's all about the flowing of flavors. Okay, so I'm going to be making my breakfast, and I have a very limited amount of things in the refrigerator. So I thought this would be a great example to see what I will create when I don't have much to create with. Because like Orson Welles says, the greatest enemy of art is the lack of limitation. So sometimes having a limitation makes you create things that you normally wouldn't. So all I have is in the refrigerator, because I got in late last night from New York City. All I have is eggs, and I have some raw cheese, and so I have protein and fat for breakfast, and now I need my carbs for breakfast. So and I don't eat any grains, so the only carbs that I do is vegetables or a little bit of fruit. So I have a little bit of a beet, and I have a red pepper. So I'm going to see what I can create with that. And actually I see an apple here too, so maybe I can do something with that. And I'm going to make a little omelette using raw cheese. This is raw cheese from the Amish. It is grass-fed and organic. Very important when you do any kind of dairy. It should always be grass-fed and organic. Grass-fed makes it higher in omega-3s. You know, we all need more omega-3s. Most of us have too much omega-6 and 9, so we need more omega-3. So any butter that I use to cook with always is grass-fed and organic. Now, if I'm cooking with it, I just use regular butter, like Kerrygold. But if I am going to be eating cheese, I always make sure it's raw, because when it's raw, it has way more enzymes, and it is not as detrimental, because when you heat fats, they have more carcinogenic properties. So you'll see how I make my omelet. I will put the cheese in at the very end, and I will turn off the heat, and I will just let it gently melt, but not heat up, so as not to destroy the living enzymes in the cheese. Okay, that's a lot of talking. So here we go. These are, I just blended. I love to blend eggs before I make an omelet or scrambled eggs. It gives them a fluffier, airier kind of a feeling. Let's see. So I just put a dash of salt, my Himalayan, Bolivian, Hawaiian salt. These sleeves are riding up. Why is that? Anyway, so I'm going to turn on the stove, kind of medium high. And I'm going to take some of my grass-fed butter. Don't be afraid of fats. All that stuff that they talk about, the cholesterol, all that. We'll get into that more detail as time permits, and as this relationship of ours evolves. I'll take you deeper into the heady stuff of it. But for now, just having fun, creating something in the kitchen that's never been created before. Well, I have created an omelet before, but not with these vegetables. So, I'm going to get the omelet going, and it's important that the butter starts to bubble just a tiny bit before we pour the eggs in. And this is a very simple omelet. It's not like you're throwing a bunch of vegetables and onions and that kind of stuff in it. It's just plain omelet with cheese. And then you eat all your vegetables raw for breakfast. And I'll see what I create. So here we go. I'm pouring it on. And I don't have a cameraman who can come and get the details of this. I never use spatulas. I always use my hands for everything. Because when you're using your hands, you're infusing the food with your life energy. Because your hands are basically extensions of your heart. That's why painting your fingernails red, has a symbolic meaning to it, like you're extending the warmth and redness of your heart into your hands. So when you're making things in the kitchen, wherever you can, use your hands. Don't use ladles or spoons or forks. Use your hands. Okay, so we'll let that get going over there. Now let's see with the vegetables. Okay, we have this, we have this, we have this. So the principles to making flavors that people love and enjoy is the principle of salty, sweet, sour, and fatty. That seems to be one of the magic combinations, like I said in my last video. It's something that human beings just love. That's why we have so many condiments, and they all have that same quality. They're salty, sweet, sour, and fatty. Mayonnaise being one of the all-time favorites. So I'm going to make a little vegetable dish of some sort where I will simply use red peppers and a beet. I store my vegetables that are half cut always in glass. They last longer, and I try to eliminate plastic wherever possible because plastics imitate estrogens, and the last thing we want is excess estrogens. And that goes for men too. You don't want those men, what do they call those? Men breasts or man boobs or something like that. So I'm here's my beet, and here's a little grater and a plate. And I'm going to grate the beet right into the plate. And I will then eat from this plate. Oh, you can't see my experimental hairstyle today. I was feeling like I wanted to pay homage to one of my idols, my favorite female archetypes, Fran Drescher in The Nanny. I love her. I know it's kind of not very. Actually, I can't believe that I'm sharing this. Normally I didn't want anybody to know that I love The Nanny, but I do, because she's just, a very effortlessly feminine role model. She's smart. She's nurturing. She's funny. She's the nanny. Oh my God. I can already hear the comments. But I'm just being honest. So, see, look, I grated that. That looks very nice. This is going to be a very red dish. And my omelet is happening. So, what I do is I flip the omelet. Most people don't do that. Most people I flip the omelet, right? And then I turn it off. I turn it off and I just let the other side. And then here I take my cheese. I flip the omelet. Now I'm going to take this cheese and put it on there. But I turned off the heat because I don't want to kill the living enzymes in this beautiful Amish cheese. And it is a Amish Swiss. And now I put the cheese on one half of the omelet. Then I close it like this, fold it over, and I take it off the pan and I put it in my plate. Which you can't see, but here it is. Okay. Now for the salad. Now I'm using, this is a ceramic knife. And, you know, gourmet chefs use these for many reasons. One is that when metal contacts fresh living food, it apparently changes the spin of the electron. And if you're using a ceramic knife, it keeps the vitality of the food as alive as if you were just literally chewing it with your teeth. I guess, you know, nature, we don't have metal teeth. So something, who knows what the exact science is behind that. Well, actually, I know, but I'm trying to appear less intellectual than I actually am. We'll see if I can pull it off. Okay, so now I just cut up some red peppers and some of the beets are together. So I think that'll be an excellent addition. And I found I have some fermented kale and dandelion. So the flavors, we have the sweet from the beets, and the peppers have the sweetness too. And now we're going to put in the sour from the fermented vegetables. I'm just going to put in a spoon and 2 spoons. And then we're going to put in the salty, which is basically my special secret formula salt. So we have salty, sweet, sour, and the only thing we're missing is the fatty. So now, I love wooden spoons and forks. So here's an example. Instead of using the spoon to mix it, I am going to dip my hand in it. But you know, so I had to add one more thing, fatty. I was thinking I have some yogurt here. So maybe that will be a nice, that might be just the right touch to create that flavor that makes you feel like you're living it up. So I'm putting in a little bit of the yogurt. And of course, if I wanted to serve it to somebody, I might leave like a dollop on top after I mix it. But instead, I prefer to mix things with my hand. So I'm going to just smush it. And it feels so irreverent and sort of like, you know, ripping a page from a book. It feels like, oh my God, you can't do that. Rip a page from a book. It's sort of like, what are you doing with your hands in the food? Your mother would say, get your hands out of the food. But what it does, it's sort of like you're using your hand to marry all the ingredients. You know, when you squeeze it, it's sort of like, I think they call it massaging a salad. And it just pulls out the juices naturally. So I'm massaging my breakfast salad and I'm having fun. especially when it's beets. Oh wait, now, I don't know why. Well, you know, the technical aspects of this are going to evolve. So now, the other part, after you've massaged your salad, most people would rinse their hand, you know, clean their hand. I think, for me, first of all, why waste food? I think I always, and I did wash my hands before I started. And this way, I lick my fingers. I know it looks probably pretty gross, but oh my God, the flavor is incredible. The sweet, salty, and the fatty definitely did it. You could also add, for the fatty part, if you have any like almond butter or almonds or any kind of nut. So I don't completely, I don't lick my hand clean, but I do remove everything that's accessible. Oh my God. If my mother saw me, she would say, Dagmar is disgusting. How can you lick your own hand? I'm like, it's my hand. Why wouldn't I want to lick it? Okay, now I'm going to rinse. By the way, for women, see how it still leaves a red stain? Sometimes what I do is I take, whenever I do beets, which is pretty much every day, I do some kind of beet. You can just, you know, take the beet and you rub it on your lips or your cheeks and it stays. And it's completely natural. Free makeup. Okay, so now, here's my meal. I'm going to eat it with a fork and see what I've created here. Now, if I was serving you, I would have put it on a clean plate, so that, you know, and put a little parsley on top or something to make it look attractive. Wow! That's a great combination. You see, if I had all this food in the refrigerator, I would have never thought of doing this. But, you know, I could put little pieces of apple in there too to make it sweeter. But I think I'd rather have this later on in the day. And let's try the omelette. See what I've created with the omelette. It's just so substantial, you know. It has that feeling of like, it feels like substance. Very delicious. Very, very good. I like this breakfast. And then, maybe next time, or some other time, I'll show you how to make this, which is just almond and coconut flour. It's sort of like a, my version of a coffee cake. There's so many things to do and to make in the kitchen, and to share. So, what else did I want to say? I guess that's it. Did I say that I only use organic eggs? Organic, free-range, humanely raised chicken eggs. So that they're not just, you know, in these slightly larger cages. They actually get to run around and eat worms and insects and the kind of things that make the egg yolks really beautifully orange rather than pale yellow. So thank you for tuning in and joining me in my breakfast. And later on, I will make some other foods. Okay, bye. This is Dagmar Stancová signing off.